Hello everyone, welcome to DV Systems webinar series. We are excited to host our fourth webinar on the Haida N200, our 200 HP rotary screw air compressor. My name is Bogusz Szyszkowski. I'm the marketing manager at DV Systems. I will also be accompanied by Luke Thrush, our design engineer at DV Systems.
Hello everyone.
A few housekeeping items before we begin. Questions will be addressed during our Q&A period at the end of our webinar, but feel free to type questions into the messages console during our presentation, and we will address them accordingly during the Q&A session. Let's begin with our agenda for this webinar. We will commence with an overview of the Haida N200's key features and benefits. We will then review the Haida's internal components. This will be followed by a video walk around. We will continue on with the discussion of the Haida N200's energy efficiency, available models, accessories, and warranty info, after which we will go over a typical installation and product review, and finally conclude with the Q&A session, where we will address and answer audience questions. Introducing the Haida N200 Rotary Screw Air Compressor. It's powered by a premium efficiency 200 horsepower motor and reliably delivers 926 SCFM of compressed air at 100 psi, 901 SCFM at 125 psi, and 848 SCFM at 145 psi. It delivers air quite quietly for a 200 horsepower air compressor, clocking in at 79 decibels. The Haida N200 features variable speed direct drive technology, making it extremely efficient both from an energy and system standpoint. Its comprehensive cooling system, including an integrated dual air and oil aftercooler and double cooling fans, further contributes to overall system efficiency. It's equipped with the CSC 300 controller, an advanced control solution. The Haida N200 is engineered to be durable and reliable, featuring rugged construction and quiet operation. The Haida N200's innovative component integration and overall design makes it easily serviceable. And, as with all our rotary screw air compressors, the Haida N200 is backed by a 5-year limited warranty at no additional cost. All you have to do to qualify is register online within 30 days of purchase, maintain the unit properly according to the service manual, and use only official DV Systems parts and maintenance kits. The Haida N200 comes in a single configuration. Model N200 VSD comes base mounted and requires a 1,550 gallon air receiver. Optional accessories such as air receivers, air dryers, and filtration are available and will be discussed a little later in the webinar. The CSC 300 is an advanced control solution for the Haida N200. It effectively manages, monitors, and maintains optimal operational parameters to ensure stable system pressure and reliable operation. The CSC 300 works with the variable frequency drive to reduce system pressure to within 1% of set pressure. In this way, system pressure can typically be reduced by 20%, increasing energy efficiency. The CSC 300 features remote stop-start operation, a real-time clock with an advanced run schedule, sequencing control of up to 8 air compressors. It's optionally web-enabled and features remote fault signals and power failure restart capabilities and a service maintenance reminder. The Haida N200 employs variable speed direct drive technology, which increases energy savings by aligning energy use with air demand. The VSD eliminates inrush current spikes on startup by increasing motor speed gradually. The VSD's pressure tracking controls ensure energy consumption is minimized by producing only as much air as is needed at set pressure, eliminating artificial demand. The N200 is ideal for varying demand applications, delivering maximum operating flexibility with efficient full and part load performance. Numerous power and monitoring and fault protection technologies are also integrated, such as an EMC filter, line reactor, and mainline fusing, making it extremely safe. The Haida N200's one-to-one direct drive enables efficient power transmission and further optimizes power consumption. Its self-aligning drive connects the motor directly to the high-efficiency air end with a low-maintenance coupling and provides maximum transmission efficiency and durability in use. The Haida N200 is rugged, reliable, and quiet, engineered to effectively minimize noise levels. It's designed with a solid steel base, frames and floor, powder-coated, heavy-gauge, acoustically insulated steel cabinets, and sound-attenuating foam barriers. It also features an innovative sound baffling design which further reduces noise levels as well as minimizes air cooling restrictions. The Haida's overall unique integrated system design and comprehensive cooling configuration includes a dual-function air aftercooler and oil cooler and double cooling fans, contributing to the production of discharge air temperatures as low as 15 degrees above ambient, reducing energy consumed by air dryers, promoting system reliability, and extending an air receiver's life. The air end intake is located near the opening to improve air compressor output and operating temperature. The VSD has a dedicated air intake and exhaust, and a physical barrier separates the electrical components of the VSD and control panel from the rest of the system. This ensures that the VSD compartment is protected from splash, but also improves VSD cooling. Now Luke will discuss the internal components of the Haida N200.
So we'll start off, number one here is the air filter. The air is brought in through ducting to the intake valve, which is mounted on top of the air end shown here. The air end is mounted onto vibration isolators. There are two on the bottom of the unit here. This is the motor air end coupling, and you see here the high efficiency, premium efficiency motor. The unit also has steel tubing, and above here is the heat exchanger, and above the heat exchanger is a dual integrated cooling fans. So again, number one here, you see the intake valve mounted on the air end. Again, the steel tubes. Number four, and the thermal valve is located here and with two oil filters mounted, one on top and one on the bottom. Number seven, at the back here is the air oil separator tank, and the minimum pressure valve is on top of the tank. And this is the air outlet flexi hose to the, again, the heat exchanger with integrated dual cooling fans. And again, the air end, you can see here the isolators on the bottom of the unit. So just going over again, the intake valve, there's the solenoid on the intake valve. Here you see the scavenge line, and the minimum pressure valve is located here. Safety valve for the air oil separator tank is here, which is mounted on the air oil separator tank. Here you have the oil cap and sight glass, and at the back here is the drain valve for the oil. The side is a stainless steel flexi hose. Number 11 is a lubrication tube for the air end bearings. Again, you see the isolators, and over here on the side there are two pressure transducers. One is for the main line pressure, and the other one you can see the pressure drop across the air oil separator filter, which will let you know when to change the filter. Another service bonus is the three-way pressurization valve, which allows you to keep pressure within the air oil separator tank when you go to change the oil. So you can have pressure in the tank, which allows you to expel the oil a lot easier. Okay, so number one at the top is the heat exchanger. We also have a drain on the heat exchanger to drain the oil when you're changing the oil. Number three here is the air filter, and again the motor air end coupling. It's attached to the main motor. The motor also is mounted on vibration isolators, and which is sitting on a welded steel frame. At the back here is a sound attenuating foam, which also has an oil protectant on all of the foam. And back here is a sound baffling, which reduces the noise coming from the unit.
All right, now we're going to move on to a video walk around.
Okay, so to start out here, we have the CSC 300 controller and e-stop. And there's an ambient filter for the VSD. And we'll open the front panel here, which houses the VFD and the control panel for the unit. So inside we have the air filter. Air is brought in through the filter through the air ducting, and that goes into the intake valve, which is on the air end there. You see the direct drive motor coupling and the main motor. So moving along here, we have the air oil separator filter with the scavenge line. There's a minimum pressure valve and the safety valve and three-way service valve. You have the oil cap and sight glass and the drain at the back. On the right there, you see the braided flexi hose and the two pressure transducers, one for line pressure and the other for the pressure drop across the separator filter. And at the top, you see the heat exchanger with the drain on the left there. So above the heat exchanger, you can remove that panel to gain access to the two fans, and also the heat exchanger can be pulled out for service. Here we have the two oil filters on the thermo valve. These here are the steel tubes for the unit. Again, the air end, the intake valve, these are all mounted on isolators. And you see the motor coupling, and above that is the air intake ducting for the unit, and of course the premium efficiency motor. So again, on the top, you can remove the panel, you can pull out the heat exchanger to clean it. So at the back, you have the front half is the oil cooler, and the back half is the air cooler. And again, there's the drain valve for the cooler. And that's the N200.
Thank you, Luke. So let's talk a little bit about the Haida N200's energy efficiency, specifically relating to its variable speed direct drive technology. The initial fixed cost of a rotary screw air compressor is only a fraction of its total life cycle or operating cost. The greatest proportion of costs incurred in the operation of a compressed air system are its energy costs. Variable speed drives present a considerable opportunity to reduce the cumulative energy costs of your compressed air system by as much as 24%. So how do variable speed drives do this? VSDs align energy use with air demand and produce only as much air as is needed at set pressure. VSDs draw power in direct proportion to the load, with energy consumption approximating 0% at no load versus 13 to 85% at full load consumption. Secondly, VSDs eliminate inrush current spikes on startup by gradually increasing motor speed, contributing to the compressed air system's overall energy-efficient operation. And thirdly, variable speed drives eliminate artificial demand by reducing system pressure. Each 2 psi reduction in system pressure equals a 1% reduction in energy consumption. VSDs are typically set 20% lower in psi than traditional load-no-load air compressors. All these factors contribute to considerable energy savings. Let's move on and talk about variable speed versus full voltage start drives, specifically as it relates to their starting current and energy consumption. The gray line on the graph to the right signifies a full voltage start air compressor, and you can see at the very beginning of its operation that an inrush current spike on startup is evidenced. This inrush current spike is typically 7 times the proportion of the current displayed on the nameplate. Comparatively, the orange line signifies the startup current profile of a variable speed drive air compressor, and you can see that the variable speed drive starts the motor with a gradual speed increase, eliminating any inrush current spikes on startup, consequently reducing your electricity costs. Let's go ahead and move on to talk about eliminating artificial demand with variable speed drives. So what is artificial demand? Typically, it's when an air system is overpressurized and more air is produced at a higher pressure than you actually need to service the demand needs of your application. So remember, variable speed drives only produce as much air as is needed at set pressure and maintain operating pressure within 1 psi. This allows pressure to be typically set 20% lower versus load-no-load driven compressed air systems. Each 2 psi of pressure reduction equals a 1% increase in energy savings. The Haida N200 is available in only one base mounted model and two voltages. The N200 VSD/46 is 460 volt and the N200 VSD69 is 575 volt. The Haida N200 is backed by a 5-year limited warranty at no additional cost. In order to be eligible for the extended warranty, the unit must be registered online within 30 days of purchase, maintained properly according to the service manual with the use of only official DV Systems parts and maintenance kits. Now Luke will discuss a typical installation of the Haida N200.
Okay, so on the diagram to the right here, you can see the air compressor, the N200. These compressors also produce about 500,000 BTUs per hour. So that's the expelled heat coming out the top of the unit. So that can be definitely utilized within the facility. Now you can't quite see it here, but we do recommend putting a cyclone filter right on the discharge of the compressor. And we have a flexible tubing here which connects to your air receiver surge tank. There's also a safety valve on the tank that would be sized to the use that you require. At the bottom of the tank, we have a zero loss auto drain. And here we have the advanced air piping. The first filter that you would use would be a 3 micron air filter. And then here you have the dryer. And then after the dryer would be the application air filter that you could get to a smaller micron filter here. You also have an oil water separator after the dryer. And lastly here you have basically your application tank. This would be a dry tank, which is optional dry tank or available at the point of use. And that would be the typical layout for the N200.
Thank you, Luke. So the Haida N200 comes with a variety of optional accessories. Remote start-stop capability. This enables the air compressor to be turned on from an alternate location for ease of use. An air dryer and pre-filter, specifically the ProDry ASD 500 air dryer and 3 micron pre-filter. A 1,550 gallon ASME approved and CRN registered air receiver. A zero loss auto drain, which automatically drains moisture condensate from the air receiver. And finally, the Ecotron 300, a condensate filtration solution that allows you to dispose of condensate safely down a normal city drain, making you compliant with municipal bylaws. So let us review some of the N-Series Haida N200 key features. Energy efficient variable speed 1-to-1 direct drive technology with no gears. A premium efficiency TEFC industrial motor. Dual function air aftercooler and oil cooler and double cooling fans, CSC 300 advanced controller, steel tubes for increased ruggedness, and an innovative sound baffling design. That concludes our webinar on the Haida N200s, and now for our Q&A session.